Funcracker wird so in einer halben Stunde circa kommen und hat dann ja so 30 Minuten Zeit und wir können ihn ausquetschen bezüglich DAO, bezüglich PIP. Und ja, bis dahin besprechen wir mal den Newsletter, gehen über alles rüber, was diese Woche so passiert ist.
Kannst du mal kurz reinlinken ist das der neue
Ich
Schirm
schicke
oder ist der
natürlich ist im Chat.
Danke, danke.
Bitte, bitte. Ja, Golden Carnival Woche 2 hat stattgefunden, vergangenen Freitag. Es waren knapp, also nicht ganz 3 Millionen Tickets eingereicht worden. Das sind
Muss ich gleich hier Kiwi-Mima, ich habe bloß gesehen hier, Swift hatte groß gejammert, hat irgendwie ordentlich reingebuttert. Habe ich das richtig mitgekriegt?
ja, der war, glaube ich, der
Ja,
2 oder 3.
Ja, das
ich
klang nicht
halte
so überzogen.
ich halte mich mal zurück mit
Okay, okay.
Aussagen dazu. Also, wenn, dann muss er es selbst sagen, aber ja,
Aber
Swift
nicht
ist da
zufrieden.
aktiv.
Okay.
Ja, ne, ich hatte bloß gesehen, irgendeiner von Rom hat irgendwie hier mit, 'n paar tausend Tickets hat er hier so 'n gutes 'ne Sandbar oder irgendwas abgegriffen, aber ich habe gar nicht wieder ich habe wieder meine 426 Tickets gemacht und 0.
Hm.
Hat jemand was gewonnen hier? Ne, ne?
Ja, ich
Die
habe
sind
noch gar
alle
nicht
nicht so die
mitgemacht.
Gambler, oder?
Ich habe bei
Ne.
dem Marvel Game habe ich was gewonnen, ein paar
Ah,
Tickets, die werde ich reinbuttern, sobald ich sie habe. Aber ja, bin jetzt nicht so der Gambler. Jetzt werden es immer mehr. Ich glaube, Woche 1 hat ja Victor letzte Woche erwähnt, war es noch ganz gut vom Ratio her. Und jetzt bei 3 Millionen, ja, bin ich mir nicht mehr so sicher. Es wird jetzt sicher mehr die Woche, vor allem weil es ein Tankship gibt. Und das will ja jeder haben,
ja,
wie wir
genau.
Crew gehört haben.
Also, es ist auf jeden Fall, so 'n Tankship wäre schon geil, aber
Ja.
Das
mit bei
wäre richtig
meinem
cool.
Glück.
Da baue ich auf Swift.
Das holt er sich. Ja, also wie gesagt, 1,1 Millionen mehr als in der vorigen Woche. Und ja, dieses Mal hat alles geklappt mit dem Timing. Alles war ja auf Zeit, alles gut. Alle 15 Sekunden wurde ein Gewinner preisgegeben.
Ging ruckzuck diesmal, so fand ich. Also,
Hm?
zack, zack, zack.
Ja,
Ging
ging
ruckzuck, sage ich ja.
so. Auch das mit dem Marble Game finde ich immer ganz, ganz cool, was sie davor machen und auch danach noch ein Game. Das macht richtig Spaß. Kann man ein paar Tickets gewinnen und manchmal ein paar Schiffe, wenn großzügige dabei sind. Ja, die Beschreibung müssen wir nicht durchgehen. Ja, hier stehen noch die Marble Games. Und Woche 3 ist schon eröffnet. Also wir können unsere Tickets einreichen über die Hedgehog-Website. Bis jetzt
Hast
600.000
du
Tickets.
hast du
Ich schau mal nach.
kannst du vielleicht mal genau, ne, kannst du vielleicht mal
100.000 sind es.
in,
Ja,
Victor Stats angucken? Da könnte man sehen, wie viel produziert wurden so, wie viel übrig sind und so. Ich habe das jetzt die Woche nie geguckt, aber weiß gar nicht mehr, wo
Produced.
das war.
Das ist bei Glovo. Sollte es sein.
Ich glaube Sage Crafting oder so was maybe?
Das ist gar nicht, das ist nicht bei, nee, okay, ist bei Gameplay Analytics. Ja, ich glaube, es kommt ziemlich
Weil
gleich mal.
dies war ganz interessant. Mich würde mal
So viel
interessieren, wie viel jetzt, gucke mal,
Rating
Golden
Supply,
Ticket, ja genau.
One Ticket
Jetzt warte mal,
Cost.
die Crafting Raffles
So
total
ist es.
redeemed, 686.000, 4,6 Millionen sind aus Supply zurzeit. Also wurden wieder 1 Million mehr gecraftet oder so.
Crafted, ja. Hm.
Ja. Also
Ja.
600.000 und 4 Millionen sind noch da, also könnten auch wieder 2, 3 Millionen drin landen, wenn alles dumm läuft.
Mhm. Woche 2, Woche 3. Ich habe schon wieder die Übersicht verloren in dieser Tabelle. Ich bin echt kein Datentyp.
Alles
So
gut, alles
Sachen,
gut.
da ist
Habe schon
immer
gesehen,
jetzt
was ich sehen wollte.
Zahlen, dann verliere ich den Faden.
Alles gut,
Ähm,
alles gut.
ja, 700.000 schon eingereicht, also seit wann hat er das gepublished?
Sonntag oder?
Also vor um 5:30, ja, 1,5 Stunden, 2,5 Stunden, ja. Sind schon wieder 100.000 reingekommen.
Deswegen ist die andere Seite gut, weil da waren 608 schon, da hat noch nie geupdatet.
Mhm.
721.000. Was gibt's noch hier? Slatwatch ist natürlich auch eigentlich geil. Habe ich auch schon
Ja,
mal so ins Auge genommen, aber Bei den neueren Schiffen ist halt schade, dass du nie die Paperhands hast, sondern du musst vom Team kaufen. Und vielleicht müsste man jetzt auch mal das Team hier so Sandy befragen. Jetzt war ja die Crew letzte Woche mit dem neuen Referral-System und dann halt, wie lange können wir jetzt noch Self-Discount machen? Das ist nämlich auch so eine Überlegung, dass man vielleicht dann kurz vor Schluss noch, wenn man irgendwas ins Auge gefasst hat, vielleicht noch einen Self-Recount zieht, bevor es das nicht mehr gibt und so. Ob sie das announcen, müsste man mal ein Bild nachfragen. Das kann man vielleicht mal im Meeting fragen oder so.
Können wir ja
Santi ist ja da. Kannst du direkt hier
Ja,
fragen.
aber den
nicht
hebe ich mir für morgen auf. Das brauchen wir jetzt nicht. Den greife ich mir privat.
über Modcall ein bisschen
Ja, ja.
den Ärger verursachen. Okay. Ja, Thimble-themed, wie wir gesehen haben. Es gibt ein Tankship als Hauptpreis und 149 Preise insgesamt. Darunter auch, was waren es, 50 Silberpacks, glaube ich.
Das ist halt für die Kleinen immer besser, finde ich, wenn es mehr. Letzte Woche waren bloß wie viel? 80, 90, 98 oder so, ne?
Das
Jetzt
sehen wir schon.
150, da hast du wenigstens so eine Chance, irgendwas Kleines zu kriegen vielleicht, weißt du? Denke ich immer,
Vorher
ist
waren es
immer besser.
91, ja.
90 bloß, das merkst du nämlich schnell, dann ist halt wirklich die Chance noch geringer, so dass du überhaupt was kriegst, so, weißt du?
Ja.
Vielleicht sollten sie, habe ich mir so überlegt, müssten sie wirklich halt viel mehr kleine Preise machen, einzelne Silberpacks oder so, so dass du wirklich auch zumindest so einen Trostpreis hast oder irgendwas, weißt du, wie ich meine?
Mhm.
Weil 140 auf wie viel Millionen Tickets? 3 Millionen Tickets, das ist halt das ist nicht viel, weißt du, ich meine, aber wenn es dann wenigstens so 5000 irgendwas Silberpacks gäbe oder so, dann ist es vielleicht eher noch, dass so ein kleiner Spieler auch mal was kriegt oder so, weißt du, mit dem Ticket, so habe ich mir gedacht, aber schwer zu sagen.
Finde ich auch. Bin ich deiner Meinung. Lieber mehr kleinere, Preise, damit eben auch viele Spieler was gewinnen können und sich das ein bisschen mehr verteilt.
Könnte
Aber ist
man
immer noch
vielleicht hier
besser
in
als
diesen
Lotto spielen.
Megaweeks aber in den Megaweeks könnte man das ja vielleicht mal fragen, ob sie dann sowas machen würden.
Gibt eine Community Week, da könnte man ja wirklich dann sowas, ja,
Ne, nächste Woche schon
abfragen.
dann, oder? Also die Woche drauf.
Die
Also
Mega,
nächste
ja,
Woche.
stimmt. Wäre eine Möglichkeit. Ja,
Weil das wäre dann
stimmt, ja, Week
so
after,
der,
ja, Mega Week,
ja,
Double VWAP.
ja.
Mhm. Okay, ja, gibt es noch was zu Golden Tickets, Golden Karneval? Sonst gehen wir zum nächsten Thema.
Ja, hat jemand sich groß gefreut, die großen Gewinner, ich kannte viele diesmal gar nicht so, oder hat jemand Bekanntes was Großes gewonnen? So, es war diesmal, letztes Mal war ja der Nut und so, der hat ja gewonnen, aber diesmal
Ich glaube,
wir hatten
Ustur
diesmal,
war Bodhi, der Name
hat
Ustur,
das
glaube ich.
Bodhi,
Der hat,
okay.
glaube ich, einen Hauptpreis gewonnen.
Was macht denn Brian überhaupt mit seinen Tickets? Tut er die auch reinknallen oder
Das ist eine
burnt er
gute
die
Frage.
oder? Hm?
Das ist eine gute Frage. Keine Ahnung.
Der hatte doch dieses Ankaufprogramm oder was auch immer, was wir hier mal erwähnt hatten, deswegen. Oder vielleicht tut er sie alle auf einmal dann irgendwann zum Schluss rein oder so. Keine
Mhm.
Ahnung, was da der Plan ist.
Gut, Gamefight. Das ist eine Show von Sam Stefanina von Wolfsdau. Und da ist Startlers jetzt offizieller Partner, also Automata. Die sponsoren die Show. In welcher Form
Klick
ist,
mal
glaube ich,
drauf, habe ich noch
bekannt.
nie gesehen, noch nie gehört.
Den Typen kenne ich irgendwoher.
Ja,
Der
da
macht
gibt's
der nicht
Ja,
Parallel oder Shrapnel oder sowas? Ist der da nicht irgendwie groß?
sein. Co-Founder Wolfsdau. Ah, der ist auf YouTube ziemlich groß anscheinend.
Millionen
Was?
Views. Klick mal drauf hier. Oder hast du in YouTube offen? Gib
Nee,
mal
ist
ein hier. Sam Stefanina. Dachte, das ist eine Frau.
der live ist der.
Mach mal YouTube auf hier. Du hast du Glück gehabt, dass du keine Pornos geguckt hast gestern.
Auf YouTube.
Paul ist
YouPorn. Ist immer der Trick, weißt du, wie du entblößen kannst, ja. Sam Stefania.
das? Nee.
Das ist so nie,
Sam
ja. Oder
Stefanini.
vielleicht Wolfstar oder sowas.
Ja, da
Ich
ist
glaube, das ist ein
Sam,
Twitter-Space.
da ist er.
Gamified müsste ein
Aber
Twitter-Space
da
sein.
stand, er hat 5 Millionen Views auf 5
Billion,
Millionen,
Milliarden.
ja, stand da, oder? Habe ich das
Ja,
richtig gelesen?
sieht ja nicht so aus.
Das ist so bestimmt 'n Fake-Profil hier. Oder wie?
Wahrscheinlich.
Das ist 'n Fake-Profil. Ja,
Wolfstar
ist ja gut, dann oder Ulster.
mit V. Wolfstar. Sehe ich jetzt hier gar nichts.
Wer weiß.
Ich meine, vielleicht schreibt er das
Das
einfach
kriegen wir
nur,
schon noch raus. Das ist
vielleicht
bestimmt
schreibt
hier
das ja einfach
irgendwie.
nur rein. Ich meine, vielleicht hat er einfach nur gesagt, es gibt insgesamt sicher 5 Milliarden Views.
Ja, ja, wird schon. Ist ja egal jetzt. Aber es ist
Ja,
immer gut, mal 'n bisschen zu spionieren, was da los ist,
ja,
genau.
stimmt schon, stimmt schon. Ja, also Automata ist Sponsor von der Show. Gab einen Shoutout von Wagner, ein großes Announcement. Und Francesca hat sich dazu im Foundation Room geäußert. Ich muss gestehen, ich verstehe jetzt nicht so ganz, für mich ist das nicht sehr aussagekräftig, das ist ein guter Partner und oft sagt sie so, Running
Bezahlen
Creative.
Sie die oder was? Oder das ist ja wieder mein
Oh,
Ding
genau,
hier.
bekommen sie.
Unsere Content Creator machen dicht hier, Metaverse Nomads, und dann bezahlen sie irgendwelche, die wir gar nicht kennen oder was?
Ja, ja ich bin auch kein Fan davon, aber irgendwie müssen wir
Aber
die
gut, ja,
mal
müssen wir werden
raushauen.
sehen, was rauskommt.
Ja, also die Aktivation von Activations wäre ja Tournaments. Ich weiß nicht genau,
Könnt ihr
was
euch erinnern, war
eins.
da nicht mal hatten wir nie irgendwann 'ne Collab mit irgendwelchen Leuten, die so 'n Podcast erstellen wollten für Star Atlas oder so? Das war auch angekündigt
Ja,
so
so
als
ein Moon-Podcast oder irgendwas.
ja, und das kam aber nie raus, oder?
Da ist nichts passiert.
Da ist nix passiert, ne?
Ne.
Ich weiß auch nie, was daraus geworden ist. Aber gut.
Ja, ist anscheinend ein wichtiger Partner und der soll, ja, Langzeit-Kollaborationen reinbringen und Turniere sponsoren oder aktivieren, was auch immer das heißt. Ich verstehe es nicht ganz, aber ich vertraue Francesca mal, dass sie weiß, was sie macht und ja, wir werden sehen, was
Ja, wird Zeit,
daraus.
dass wir mal anfängt. Das ist ja ähnlich wie mit dem DAO. Haben wir in 'nem Brew gesehen und seitdem nicht mehr gehört halt. Ich hoffe mal, da kommt irgendwas halt. Wie lange ist jetzt da? 2 Monate? Bin ich auch schon wieder
Lä
so, wo ich
länger,
dann denke
die war doch schon
ja, aber
vor
weißt du,
der,
wisst, wie was ich
Breakpoint da.
meine hier, so dieses Untertauchen
Mhm.
und nicht hören oder sehen monatelang, das
Mhm.
gefällt mir nicht.
Ja, grade halt hier als Head of Marketing, ne? Und dann halt so ja, also grad marketingmäßig ist ja jetzt nicht wirklich viel
Ja, die
passiert.
haben bestimmt kein Budget und so, aber sollen sie's wenigstens machen. Ich fand, irgendjemand hatte die Idee die Woche irgendwo gepostet in DAO-Pips, dass wir vielleicht einfach 'n privates Wallet machen für die DAO, wo wir irgend Zeug hinschicken und das wir selber Monitoring, Marketing aufziehen oder so, keine Ahnung.
Wo
Aber weil's
man,
halt
Habe
wirklich
ich nicht
nicht kommt
verstanden.
halt.
wo man
Ja,
spenden.
also das ist praktisch so gedacht, dass wir donaten und dann mit dem Donaten-Geld, dass wir nie hier irgendwo betteln müssen und Pips für 'n DAO und so, sondern dass wir es einfach selber organisieren, dass die weil siehst ja so, Charity und Donations läuft ja immer ganz gut. Hast ja auch bei Chatix gesehen hier mit 'm Breakpoint oder bei Archetype hier mit, Atlas Grace und so. Und ja, wenn ich mal 'n paar Bonk übrig habe, schicke ich da $100 und dann tun wir irgendwie 'ne Anzeige buchen oder was, keine Ahnung. Aber es ist ja so lahm mittlerweile, dass wir eigentlich
Anzeige
selber aktiv werden müssten.
im Telefonbuch von Sachsen. Stell mal eine Anzeige. Gelbe Seite.
Ne, schon lieber so was Cooles wie Kiwibi und Kino oder so.
Ja,
Aber
stimmt,
Ja.
das wäre was, ja. Das stimmt. Ja, Michael ist gerade auf Tour in Asien. Der ETH DEFCON in Bangkok und war bei 3 verschiedenen Panelen. Er war bei Alice Arcade, bei Memecore und beim Sandhouse.
wer da immer postet, das postet immer hier, wie heißt unser philippinischer neuer Mod da? Der postet das immer in den philippinischen Announcement Channel im Discord. Da ist immer viel Zeugs, aber ich weiß gar nicht, wie er
Neuer
heißt.
aus den Philippinen.
Ja, die tun da immer posten da.
Okay.
Jetzt schon mehrmals gesehen.
Aber nicht Sistine. Sistine ist schon länger, oder? Nehme ich
Ne,
an.
ne, Filipino Speaking Con Announcement. Ne,
Hm.
Niki ist das und Pino und Niki.
Vielleicht dieser,
Da
der
weil
Mach.
da hat jetzt hier also wenn jemand hier uns zuhört aus den Philippinen, ich poste das mal schnell in den Chat, das habe ich heute gesehen, das hat Sandy für uns gepostet. Da ist hier irgendwie 'n Meetup in den Philippinen.
Mhm.
Vielleicht gibt es ja ein paar Expats oder sowas, die in den Philippinen abhängen.
Ja, also wie Bi schon angesprochen hat, der nächste Stop sind die Philippinen. YGG Play Summit soll in Manila stattfinden vom 19. bis 23. November, das ist morgen. Okay. Interessant. Starters hat ein Booth. It's a booth sponsorship at the Summit. Also sie werden da vertreten sein und haben ein einstündiges Search-Tournament am 23. in der Playmatch Zone. Also wenn ihr dort seid, ja, könnt ihr Search spielen. Von 2 bis 3 am Nachmittag.
Du
Und
immer,
Michael
ja.
ist
Ich
auch
hatte
noch
das verwechselt, Philippinen und Thailand. Also der James ist das. Der James ist Thailand und der hatte was gepostet in den thailändischen Channels.
Okay.
Ich habe gerade noch berichtigen mich.
Und ja, Michael hat noch ein Panel am Freitag in Manila. Ja.
Jemand
Und
von euch mal bei YGG mit dabei gewesen? Da hatte jemand mal reingeguckt. Ich hatte mal irgendwann 2021 da so ein Ding gemintet auf Polygon oder so von denen. So ein Mitglieds-NFT. Ist da jemand in der Materie drin mit YGG? Kennt sich nicht, aber bestimmt nie. Ja.
Nee.
Ich glaube, das ist nicht so für Europa, das ist eher so Asien alles. Ich glaube,
nicht
die waren
wirklich.
ziemlich groß, so als Investoren und so weiter für alle möglichen Web3-Spiele und es ist ja auch eine Gilde sozusagen.
Mhm.
Guild Gaming oder so heißen die ja oder so, ne?
Ja, EQ Games.
Aber ich hab da auch wenig Hintergrundwissen.
Also es
Man
wird
Gut,
kennt's, man hat's mal gehört, aber tief
ja,
drin
ja,
gibt's
kann ja
einfach
sein,
zu
dass
viel.
manchmal einer, ja, dass da einer mit drin steckt.
Community Meetup am 21. November in Manila. Also wenn ihr dort seid,
Das wird das sein, hä? Das Ding hier, was
Michael.
Gandhi gepostet hat.
Ja, genau, das ist genau das. Ja. Consider dropping by. Ansonsten gab es noch ein paar einzelne News bezüglich Polislocker. Also anscheinend ist jetzt
Hat das jemand verstanden? Gwinda, du? Hast du das
möglich.
gepeilt?
Die Multisigs?
Mhm. Sind die jetzt live oder wie funktioniert das genau? Kann man das antesten oder?
Anscheinend bis jetzt nicht über die Wallet Extensions wie SquadX. Ich glaube, das ist das, was man hauptsächlich verwendet in dem Space. Nicht, dass ich mich da auskenne, aber ich habe so ein bisschen.
Ja, irgendjemand hatte gepostet, dass dieses Ding, was Skull and Bones, schade, dass Soulwalker nicht da ist, das wäre jetzt mal was, oder Saint Just, wenn der hier wäre, dass die das vielleicht schon nutzen können jetzt dann mit ihrem Guild Wallet sozusagen von Skull and Bones und die Polis locken können mit einer Multisig, so, das würde mich mal interessieren, ob das jetzt
Also
schon jemand live getestet hat.
Ja, die
selber,
hatten das ja vorher schon irgendwie so
Genau.
hingebastelt gehabt, dass das funktioniert und ich
Und
glaube,
dann hatten sie diesen Pip gemacht irgendwie, ne? Diesen
das
Pip-Idea
war
oder
doch
so.
auch 'n Beitrag von dem Hackathon, von den
Genau,
Nabaton.
Hackathon, genau, Nabaton.
Ja, und also das würde mich halt auch mal interessieren, weil für uns wäre das halt auch extrem interessant, aber irgendwie, keine Ahnung, erfährt man dazu nichts. Also dieses Announcement, das war ja irgendwie
Muss man
sehr
vielleicht mal nachforschen
nichtssagend. Ja.
mit Saint Just und Soulwalker, die wissen ja bestimmt, was da geht. Muss man auf die To-Do-Liste setzen.
ja. Also wie hier steht, ihr müsst, wenn ihr selber Custom Transactions schreiben könnt, dann könnt ihr jetzt auch eure Multi-Sig-Wallets einbinden. Wenn ihr auf Third-Party-Tools angewiesen seid, wie Squads, dann müsst ihr wahrscheinlich noch warten. Ja.
Dann
Und
warten wir mal noch.
Tulle oder Tulle, NeoSwap war es ja ursprünglich, hat Theo gelauncht, ein Chatbot, der sich ja mit Startlers auskennen soll.
Das ist ja schon eine Weile, oder? Ist das nicht
Ja,
schon, war das nicht schon
ja,
auch beim,
ist schon eine Weile
wo die
her. Was
das?
neu ist, ist, dass,
Mhm.
ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es lesen könnt, aber die Starter Packs sind jetzt von Aethia zusammengestellt worden. Machen wir die Seite auf. Nee, das ist sie nicht. Moment. Nur das
Kriegt ihr
Announcement.
Prozente oder was jetzt, Elfia oder was?
Ich denke. Also ich habe damals beim
Da will ich aber um mein Starter-Pack jetzt haben hier, wo ich
Damals
Prozente kriege.
beim Summit habe ich mit Funcracker geredet und er hat gemeint, er war jetzt mit denen in Kontakt mit Tulle und der hat
Klick mal
auch
drauf.
bemängelt, dass die Starter Packs eigentlich nicht gut sind. Und
Habe ich schon
jetzt
immer.
haben sie eine Kollaboration mit Aethia, dass die Starterpacks zusammenstellen. Also gibt jetzt ein kleines
Haben sie
Crafting,
direkt ein Crew-Pack gleich, genau, das ist gut, ja.
Scanning Bundle mit einem Opod und 5 Gs. Das ist
Klick mal
dann,
bei Pack, ich will mal sehen, was sie verlangen hier.
muss ich meine Wallet
Aber,
connecten?
pass auf, dass dein Wallet nie dockst, ja.
Ich
Ja, ist egal, gucke ich selber mal, aber
connect mal mit Brave Wallet, da habe ich eh nichts. Die ist ja quasi eh leer. Wenn ich mein
und tun
Passwort
die
noch.
das vom Tensor oder ist das Crew Packs oder ist das Tensor Crew? Würde mich mal interessieren.
Das ist Crew Packs, glaube ich. Kann ich meine Wallet nicht
Okay.
connecten?
Ja,
Ah,
15.
jetzt geht's. Okay.
Ja.
Nee, geht's nicht?
Ja, egal,
Bisschen
check
buggy.
ich mal aus.
Bisschen buggy. Ja, müsst ihr euch selber anschauen. Auf
Opod.
jeden Fall, meiner Meinung nach sehr gut, weil wir mit Victor, der ja da auch involviert ist, von ihm gehört haben, dass Crafting jetzt für kleinere Spieler der Loop sein soll. Und Scanning, ja, da brauchst du halt, was hat er gemeint? Ich glaube mindestens 150 SDU Scans pro Scan.
Stimmt teuer, oder? Was kostet eine Opod?
G. Was ist denn da momentan?
50.
Ich connect die Wallet schnell.
Ja,
Geht mir schon.
Connected, durstig, zeigt einen Millionen Atlas und Polis
Ja,
und
seht ihr die Wallet von mir?
ne, ich glaube, das sieht man
Ehrlich?
gar nicht. Das machen die schon so beim Streamen, dass die dann nicht
Ja,
gezeigt wird.
ja,
Und die muss ich die Aufnahme später mal adjusten.
ich glaube nicht, dass ihr das seht.
Ja,
Connect.
ich bin halt immer noch kein Fan davon, weil ich finde, man sollte die Leute, also erstens ist ja dann Fee bestimmt 5% oder mehr und zweitens habe ich mal Angst, dass da die Market manipuliert sind, weil der kauft ja von Market, der Bot, und wenn dort die Preise von Market Bots manipuliert werden, dann verdienen die falschen Leute an Newcomern halt da, deswegen bin ich da immer kein großer Fan von, aber es ist auf jeden Fall schon eine Verbesserung.
Der Pack ist
0,15
0,15
Zoll
Solana. Also du bezahlst in Soll in dem Fall.
ist halt eine Umrechnung, ist aber auch krass, dass da kein Preis jetzt ist.
3,5%
Mhm.
Fee.
Kommt
Weißt
dann
du,
ja
was ein
voll auf den Kurs an, wie ob du einen
äh,
guten oder schlechten Deal machst.
Bei dem hier, es lädt ein bisschen länger. Okay, da. Preis sind
1000?
1165.
Oh,
Uh.
Da ist
wow, wie
Der Opod
willst du
haut
das
rein.
bezahlen?
Ja, es ist schon nicht ohne.
Aber da
Ja,
bezahlst du mit
aber
3 verschiedenen Währungen.
Ja.
ja, das Problem ist halt beim Scannen, dass du diese 150 SDU brauchst. Andererseits werden die Transaktionen teurer, als was du pro Scan kriegst, weißt du? Und deswegen musst du da ordentlich reinbuttern und brauchst einen Opod und 5G, dass du überhaupt Plus machst beim Scanning klicken. Das ist halt so
Mhm.
das Ding. Und das wird jetzt jeden Tag teurer, je höher der Sollpreis geht. Können wir ja dann
Mhm.
auch nochmal drüber reden, aber das
Ja.
ist auch ein bisschen.
Ja,
Das
das
finde ich
Problem
auch
ist
ein
halt,
bisschen dubios, so mit den verschiedenen Preisen. Also, ich würde auch allen neuen Mitgliedern empfehlen, das einfach selbst direkt vom Markt zu kaufen.
Genau, geh,
der
rede mit
Starter ist
Leuten,
halt,
Mentoren, Gilde und dann kauft das
Ja.
Zeug selber. Also das ist
erstens spart ihr euch die Fee, zweitens die Preise. Ich meine, ich verstehe schon, die Rohstoffe gibt es ja nur in Atlas. Die Crew
Ja.
Packs, aber wenn das ein Soul ist, dann kaufen die das von Tensor, oder? Sonst wird das ja auch in Atlas bezahlt werden. Die kaufen wahrscheinlich
Stimmt.
random Crew auf Tensor.
ja,
Aber
da
wenn,
muss man wirklich gucken, weil und Tensor, die Crewpreise, die variieren zwischen, heute habe ich gesehen, 4,30 $. Ich habe sie schon für 3,50 gesehen. Das ist auch immer gerade so eine Sache, wer gerade kauft und nicht verkauft.
da können wir dann kurz Funcricker fragen, weil er da ist. Hat das ja gemacht. Ja,
2,5% und dann kriegt 12,5% bestimmt 11 Jahre, oder was? Oder waren das jetzt total
wie ist
2,5%?
jetzt
Das werde ich dann gleich
2,5%?
mal rausfinden hier.
Können wir fragen? Ich meine, irgendwas steht dem schon,
Tulle Conversion Fee,
würde ich mal sagen.
Convenience Fee, okay. Oder die haben es gesenkt. Ich glaube, es waren immer 5% vorher.
War, glaube ich, ein bisschen mehr, ja. Bisschen
Also
Crafting halt.
2,5% ist ja okay.
Ist auch ganz cool, dass hier auf der Seite alles so schön gelistet ist.
Ja, das ist hier
Preis,
ähnlich wie
oh, nice.
der von EveEye. Aber der von EveEye ist noch ein
Ja,
kleines bisschen cooler, weil dort kannst du dein eigenes Inventar mit reintun.
kannst du Deutsch.
Ja, ist ein GPT-Klon.
Ja, ich kann Deutsch. Okay, frag mal, was soll ein neuer Spieler mit $100 Budget machen?
Ja, genau.
Page. Here is writing.
Guten Abend, meine
Guten
Freunde.
Abend.
Wie geht es euch
Hi,
heute?
Frank Becker.
Uns geht's gut, danke schön. Wie geht's dir?
Hey. Ja, auch gut, auch gut. Ja, danke.
We're currently testing
So
the.
now you hear, now the hard questions begin. Good evening, Mr. Fankreger.
Yo, yo.
Now you in the box, and now we bombard you with all the questions. So first
Yeah.
off, the starter package. Do you get something from Tule? Any
Oh,
fees or
you're on
something?
that question. Um, so
have
not
that,
yet,
Sweden.
but we've been talking about potential. What we did is we've managed for them to lower the fee. It was originally 5%, now it's 2.5%.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we're in talks about them splitting it 50-50 with us. Yeah.
So 5% and 2.5%.
2.5,
I
so
mean,
2.5. And 1.25 for each, because we are doing the maintenance on these packages, so that did make sense to us.
I mean,
Frankreich
I like the scanning package because it's the 150 SDU thing, you know. But
is the crew.
yeah, we
is
still.
it from Tensor? Frankreich?
Sorry, Shadix, you're a bit low on volume. Let me put you up a little.
Yeah, he's of 200. You have to put him on 200.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, done. Sorry, what was your question?
Is the crew that you buy with the crafting bundle, is it from Tensor or is it PAX?
Oh, this is a very good question. I actually don't know. I literally don't know.
Because
Price
it's
is shown in Seoul.
with Sol. So I assume it's Tensor, right? Makes more sense.
Yeah, I would imagine that, but it's actually a very good question. If those are the cheapest,
But
then it
it's-
would make sense that it gets them there. Yeah.
Yeah, but three crew is not 0.07, or maybe it is, because cheapest is 0.016. Yeah, it's interesting. You have to
It's a
figure it
shame
out.
Victor's not here, by the way, because he has been compiling these packages.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm
Well,
still not a fan. Like, they have to convince me. It's actually because I
Oh.
always would prefer to tell the newcomer how everything works, and then because like they go on the website, they click on this, and then they buy a pack, then they pay the premium price, then they probably get scammed by the market maker bots with the bigger bundles, and then they still don't know like how everything works or anything. So
Mhm.
I think
Yeah, it makes sense.
so when a new player comes, basically I tell them nowadays, watch some videos, watch the Victor video with the 3-hour video with the where he
Yeah,
explains
so this
everything.
game, I completely get what you're saying, and the only reason this is happening is because we met in Singapore, and I told them that their current bundles made no sense whatsoever, and that I would never use their website for newcomers. So we got to talk, and how they could improve that.
It's cool.
And then
it's
I
cool,
told
it's
them,
cool.
well, if you use our bundles, I mean, we can compile better bundles to get started. So that's what we did. But
It's
yeah,
a funny
I mean,
part because
Hmm?
they I remember when they first came, and I told Xcode, oh, this sucks, and they advertised it as super smart AI bundles, and it made no sense at all, you know. So
No.
it's a lot of improvement now with these. I like the crafting bundle, you know, because actually Victor onboarded a guy, a German guy, and I talked to him for like an hour on the weekend and showed
Mhm.
him how to craft. And it's actually cool, you know, like when if you have $100 now, like the best way, or maybe the only way to get started at the moment is to buy the crew, buy hydrogen from the market for a good price, craft full, and
Yeah, that was most important. We talked about it as well.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these scanning and mining bundles are going to be super expensive, and yeah, that's exactly how it should be, because that's just the reality of things at the moment. So
Exactly,
not give people ships just for the heck of it. Like, this is the medium bundle, the big bundle. I mean, you have to give them
Exactly.
something they can use. So that's why we changed this and overhaul. But we still have, I mean, our biggest issue at this point in time is that I think at the moment, I'm not sure if there's even two Visus OPODs. So what these guys did on the Thule side, they said, yeah, there's only one Visus OPOD, so we reduced the number 2 to 1, which because it was 2 originally. And they made the previous change as well, or a similar change previously by just slashing the certain ship in two because there just was not more. I think it was the Rainbow Chi. I think that the Rainbow Chi, because Victor said, okay, 15. Remember, he said 15 Rainbow Chis. And of course, there are not 15 Rainbow Chis in the liquidity side, right? So then they said, we made it 5. There was only 5, or something like that. I mean,
So
they should not do that
you...
because then the package doesn't work anymore. So
the
mining bundle
the
is
pack now?
The mining is correct, but the scanning one they messed up because they removed one opod.
Okay.
I mean, I would have to ask Victor what the exit implications are, but that for sure there are implications. So
yeah, but it's super sad because we checked and the pack is like $1,000 something, and then or even more. And then
and there should be another.
Think about it. You buy that, and then you start scanning, and you make minus because the scanning.
Yes. So this is
super sad.
We have a meeting tomorrow with them, and I'm going to stress that they should not fucking mess with those bundles. They should just ask us. But also, we have to figure out a solution here. Like we have to probably prepare like a B and C tier list so that they can adapt. But at the very least, use then other ships, not just slash ships and leave it at that. So this is early bird. I mean, they actually move faster than we anticipated. And there is hope that we will be able to manually, like literally, instead of telling them the bundles, that we are able to manage the bundles. Because in the end, right, we also want to make sure that people get the right stuff, so they're not disappointed when they're onboarded. So for us, this is really, I mean, it's nice that they mentioned by AFIA, but and I mean that is, I guess, warranted. But it was really like, hey, if you guys are going to do this, then please just do it in a good, proper way, and let us help you, because else people are going to, be a sad panda when they figure out that what they bought is expensive, but of no use to earn anything. It just cost them. So
brings me to the point I discussed. I get ignored for months now with the Sol transaction fees, and this will only get worse, like if Sol goes to 500 or even higher, then these entry thing, it's getting worse and worse. Like I made some calculation, it's super scary. Like if you like the whole amount, Star Atlas, like if you get like 10,000 players or 20,000 players, you have like 1 million in transaction fees a month. Like, and it's so crazy. And like my big fear is like, okay, we have this economy, but the economy bleeds out at a certain point. And if we get a lot of players, if we get like 50,000, 100,000 players, we have like such high transaction costs just to run the game. And we just started, like there's so many transactions coming. Like this game is so simple now, we getting a lot of more transaction. I don't even know what happens when combat comes, and then the priority fees at the moment, it's crazy. And I don't see any solution from the team yet. I mean, I question them every week and write DMs and
Funkrek has only like 30 minutes, I think.
No, actually, I have time. So no rush.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah. I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm talking too much. It's just
I have time.
I told him to tell me when I talk too much. Yeah. So it's super scary at the moment, And then I had another thing in the DAO chat, like if you take the transaction fees, okay, that's gone with the economy, and every player has to do that for themselves. But then it's like at the moment it's like $30 a month for me as a smaller player. And then if Souls doubles, it's like 60 or $90 a month. Like I can buy a full game for this. Which player comes here has to pay like $1,000 for OPOD, then plays every month $90 just to play the game. It's too crazy. And then my other fear is like with this, all the RPC calls, like how much does the team pay right now for RPC calls? And that's just the beginning. Also, like it's 1,000 players and we have like millions of RPC calls, and this stuff costs. It's basically old school server costs. I don't know what the team pays for this. I just was talking to Brian, and he made estimates like $50,000 a month for some. But this will also grow exponentially if we get more players. So transaction costs,
Yeah,
RPC
I'm not sure Brian
costs,
is right, to be honest.
infrastructure. Then the same goes with the meta gravity. That's also expensive. That's the only reason why we don't have the search mode yet. So there's so many costs we have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
pay only to run the game, and not even there's no deaths included, nothing. So that is super scary for me, and I'm not sure how to fix that or what's the plan there. But the long-term version for me at the moment looks super scary. But I don't want to fart too much. Yeah. No,
Not
it's
too much.
it's
Nice conclusion
scary.
of his
It's
15-minute rant, but
You should see I made calculations with my ChatGPT and try to
oh my
find
God.
ways and even explode L2 chains like the Sonic thing and stuff, maybe to lower bundle, like process the transactions on a side chain and then only do a transaction on
take a sip.
Solana once a day.
Kivimi me says, take a sip of water.
Yeah. So
Let me respond to some of that briefly.
Take some water, friend.
Is it over? Okay, there's some fire alarm. Anyway, so with regards to the fees, that is, yeah, that's what do you call it? Even in English, I don't know. Like you need a long breath, or like you have to just be patient for a bit. So we know the team is trying and come up with solutions. We also know that Solana on their side is not so much coming up with solutions, but looking into potentially lowering the fee costs, especially if Sol goes up. This has been a proposal back in the day, but now, of course, that we are at all-time high, almost levels. It's become a relevant point of discussion again. But the team, we know the team is taking measures to do that. I seem to recall that I'm not sure how much it's going, of course, to actually impact this, but besides stuff like Fire Dancer, which may help some, I think next year there is a change happening which will allow transactions to be much bigger than they are now. Of course, that only matters a small bit, but nonetheless, it will still probably matter a little bit because there's just less transactions you need to sign. You can bundle them, which I hope will give some improvements in price. And the team, of course, is trying to tweak things, tweak timers, tweak gameplay in a way, and potentially even utilize their own L2. Right, Apollo. I think I mentioned it during the keynote. Michael, I think I mentioned that, like AtlasNet. So let's see what I mean. There's not a clear answer right now because it's just too early in time to figure it out. And what you're sharing is a sentiment I see a lot of people sharing. I mean, bits and pieces of what you're saying, and I completely get that because at this stage, yes, there is an issue, but I also get that the team can't really throw everything out of the window and do something drastic because of what is currently the issue, because we're only at a small fraction of the total gameplay that is forthcoming, of course. And with so many developments happening on both the Solana side and also on their side, this is just a difficult period where we have to get through. But I'm pretty sure we will get through it because if this will become a bigger issue, then the team will just push them to an L2. It will just push them. They have to do that at some point. So I'm not too necessarily scared about it myself, though of course it's highly annoying that it is currently pushing people away because of course it reduces the community. It pushes sentiment down. It's overall just not cool. But unfortunately, the reality, and I know I'm always in the camp of the slightly more optimistic people, fully aware of this. So do with that what you want. But anyway, that's just on the fee structure. RPC calls is an interesting one because, of course, so if you are giving anything a command like your own ships or whatever, it's your RPC call, right? This is on your side of the table. You're paying for it. That's why the transaction fee is there. If the team, the only reason the team does RPC calls is because I'm not even sure if they do actual RPC calls. There's like a fire hose that comes straight from their RPC provider, I believe, into their Kafka solution, which is like a giant caching system. And that is the sort of truth for Starcom. And that is the information that's being pushed towards every player. So there's a whole bunch of middleware if you would, I mean, what I'm scared of, I'm not so much scared, but like this is like a liability. Like if Automata goes bankrupt tomorrow, for example, then there is no Starcom, there's no Kafka, there's no Firehose, which means everybody would have to query the chain themselves, and that is just slow, difficult. You probably need a paid RPC provider to be able to do that, because you will burn through your the number of requests you can do like very, very quickly. So that is one. But it's not impossible. And I'm not sure what the team is paying, but I'm pretty sure they have a pretty sweet deal because they're like using an insane amount of traffic, and they have a different kind of solution that may also like put less of a strain potentially on RPC providers.
What brings me to this is just like we're always talking about getting more players in, more players and more players and 1 million players by the end of the year. If you had 1 million players, nothing of that would work. Like we would pay much more in transaction fees than we even have like Atlas or the economy.
Who's talking about getting 1 million players in?
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know either. I haven't seen
I heard that.
I mean, we know that the team wants to
Not
get there. And
anymore.
Michael, of course, is sharing that he wants to get there at some point. I haven't heard anybody suggest that we should do it over the next 12 months.
But it even starts like I made the calculations: 5,000, 10,000 players, and it already looks scary. And we already have 1,000 transactions per player every day. So, and that's minimalistic. It's for a mini game. It's for Sage. You know, it's not like you can do much or something. And that's already 1,000 transactions.
I'm not saying there's no issue. I mean, there's plenty of issues, and they need to be resolved. But they will be resolved because they have to. And again, the worst case, so the last resort the team has is moving stuff off chain or moving them to an L2. And they will likely do that. But the question is to which extent and how, because they do need a similar sort of solution, most likely, looking at actual stealth and to move from this chess game to an actual exploration game where you don't know what's around the corner. So, but this is all stuff that is coming, and unfortunately not tomorrow, not over the next 6 months either, perhaps over the next 12, but it will be early. So it's just unfortunately the situation we currently have. But it doesn't mean it's the end state of things.
To finish that up, what happens if Solana goes to $500 within the next 6 months? You know, like Sage will be like come to an halt or something. I have no idea. Like
it'll be very interesting. I mean, potentially even that could. Let's just theorize that would indeed happen. That Sage will grind completely to a halt. I mean, that sucks. Then the team will have to come with a clear plan how they're going to solve that. But and people may, I don't know. I mean, personally, if that would happen, for me, sure, fine, can happen. I wouldn't really care that much. I mean, we played Escape Velocity before, which is like a test, and I mean, this went live, and then this is not meant as a test per se, but I mean, it will then end up as being one, because clearly they need to go back to the drawing board and change stuff, and then we'll just have a bit without a game like previously, while they are fixing the Sage team at the very least is fixing that stuff somehow, some way.
Okay, but then it's the point of runway
don't forget
and
Pip, why we're actually.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap it up. It's a big topic.
I mean, before that happens, right? They will do stuff like they would indeed then like cut the mining times, well, not in half, but like in 10 times as long, just so people can like idle game Sage at the very least. Something would keep running. It won't actually shut down, but yeah, it will be tough for them. So let's see. But again, with some luck, I know I think I saw Tolly talk about it briefly recently again. But I'm pretty sure there's still a camp that would put pressure on Solana through a SIMD, like the PIP variant that they have, to change the fee structure and make sure that fees are going down again. Because nobody wants to end up being the next Ethereum in that sense. So it's very much on their mind. So I'm pretty sure if you go to 500, there will be a proposal to like slash fees in half or do something else to tweak it.
So why we brought you here?
Right,
We want updates about the DAO, and we trying to create a PIP with the German community. We want to make a meetup at the
Around
Gamescom next year.
column.
Oh,
Yeah,
love it.
Smart.
Smart.
I mean, maybe Shadix, can you
yeah,
explain
can.
everything? Or
So
should we talk German as well? Like I feel
Yeah,
like
you can talk
we-
German, of course. I will just
Yeah,
reply
will un-
probably in English mostly, but
you will understand if we talk German? Like,
if you,
all of
I think I can get quite far, but let's see. Also, I'll just interrupt you.
Okay. Also wir haben ein PIP vorbereitet, um uns zu treffen, also ein Meetup zu gestalten um die Gamescom herum. Und das haben wir im Chat irgendwo, glaube ich. No, I sent it to you, I think, Funcracker, right?
Mhm.
I can.
I think I have the
Yeah,
links.
it's just a draw. We're not sure about the date yet. The Gamescom is die Gamescom wird eine Woche ungefähr gehen, also one
Ja.
week, und we probably think the best would be on the weekend. Also, the team kind of promised that they will join at the Gamescom, and then it's a good location. It's in Cologne, so for the Dutch people, it's good. I don't know if you're in Dutch or in the Netherlands or in Austria, so maybe you can join. I think Darwin is coming, the French guys, and maybe even the Norwegian guy
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's basically a meetup for everyone. And the idea was that we asked the DAO to fund us some merchandise and maybe a free drink or something,
Oh, well,
similar
yep.
to
we
other
fund this
DAOs.
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Right?
And maybe even go a bit beyond that, so that we can create like a standard draft or a standard guideline how to set up community meetups also in the future.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Love it,
so
love
not that it's just limited to the Gamescom meetup, and there were also several discussions, for example, to dox some people. So, for example, St. Just from Skull and Bone said he has not the best feeling to dox himself, because otherwise later when the gameplay is coming to a full
Mhm.
extent, that
It's
this
simplified.
might create some difficulties when you dox yourself and everyone knows where you're living, etc., and you're playing like a pirate and fuck people up. So
Yeah.
there were several ideas what we want to summarize somehow in a guideline.
I thought it would be nice to make some videos, and even so the idea was we hire somebody of the community IP guys, hopefully Crix. I think he's the last one left to doing merch, right? So if we get some funding from the DAO, that would also help the IP merchandise guys, and then we create maybe T-shirts and stickers or something, which we then would give out at the Gamescom directly. When we join the Gamescom and like we're going around, we probably won't have a booth or anything, but just like KBB did the same thing already last year, and he gave out cards from his guild and Startlas and stuff, and so yeah.
Cool stuff.
Just thought it's a cool idea, and it would help the community IP program. It would help us. It would.
Yeah, you should know. You
Like,
should
okay.
100% do that. I mean, with
Yeah.
regards to Saint Just, I don't have a solution. I know the Lord, though, of course, from the same guild. He dressed up as the Grim Reaper. But he also did face dog himself, I guess perhaps also by accident, because he was not always dressed up as the Grim Reaper, just during the event and during the live show. But he also got, I think, the same recommendations from his peers in the guild that he should probably go as unrecognizable as possible. But he didn't really push that through 100%.
It's tough.
But,
It's tough.
Yeah, but he could do something similar, right? He can just dress up,
It's
mask
basically
himself.
just if we
fine.
take group
Cosplay.
photos and group photos and take videos, we make everybody aware of it, and who's
Yes,
not gonna
yes.
be, we cut them out or whatever. Like we can
but
do that. I think
you
it's
could
not a big
actually-
issue.
You could actually dress up. That's a fair point. There are
Yeah,
a lot of
cosplay.
cosplayers.
I don't want to dress up. Yeah.
Well, we know
But-
you, so you don't have to dress up.
So the thing now, like Mike, first of all, even if the PIP gets not voted through or whatever, or it's too complicated, or because we don't know, we haven't seen any PIP from the
No,
community
not
yet.
complicated.
Yeah. But even if it not goes through, because basically you have to convince a few whales that it's a good idea, whatever,
Mhm.
and
Yep,
discussion, but we're gonna do that event anyways. Like we're gonna meet
Yeah,
up with
makes
the
sense.
folks here anyways. So, but you think there's a good chance, and like we invited you because you in the county,
Yeah.
of course.
So I
So you
can't
think that-
comment on if it gets approved by the community, of course. It's difficult for me to say. We have not
Yeah.
yet had any community create a proposal to vote on. So you guys may be the first or one of the first, probably one of the first. So we'll have to see. But I mean, this is exactly what we want to see. And I say we. I'm speaking with my DAO cap on right now, or also to an extent with I guess team cap on. But this is what the team would like to see, and this is also what, of course, the ecosystem fund why it exists. So this is definitely a proposal I would love to see, because it will indeed help other people do something similar if it gets approved. And if it doesn't get approved, then, well, we've all learned a very valuable lesson. So a few things that I can right away, because if I don't talk, then I know if you will just take over again. So I'll just keep talking. A little bit.
I mute myself.
So
Fair
a few important bits. So what you should do is write this out. It can be vague. It doesn't have to be super concrete, like what you linked. Somebody linked the VB post from November 3rd. Is a great way to get started. So just posting that in the PIP idea forum is an excellent way to start. Before you're able to move to drafts, there's a few things that need to be figured out. And most important there is that all parties involved have to be identified. So if you want, so you can do, well, I mean, but if you have a specific merchandiser in mind, like you say Crix, but I'm not entirely sure if that's most handy. It makes sense because he's the only one, but he will have, well, not the only one, but one of the two, I think. But he has to send stuff from the US, which is perhaps cost prohibitive. But so you either need to say, hey, this party is going to create 50 t-shirts, it costs us this amount of money, or you have to say, give us 2,000 euros or dollars, sorry, and we will use that to make as many t-shirts as we can. I mean, something like that. You could try that. I'm not entirely sure. We haven't talked about that, like if it's a bit vaguer. Preferably, you could just literally say, hey, we already have like a quote. It's these folks are going to do it, and this is the exact cost, and this is the exact result. If you have that, and if you can just like summarize all that, or not summarize, but make a full list of the budget that you need and where it's going, and to whom and who's responsible. That's what we really want to see, because then it's super concrete. We know what's happening with the money. We can check what's happening with the money, and you guys can verify that you use the money the way it was promised in the proposal.
We can figure it out. My idea would be I think it's from KBB, Shadix, and me, and we could even do a multi-sig wallet or something. I don't even know how. Like first with the merch,
Sure.
that's actually a good idea. We might do it on our own if it's cheaper. Like if KBB has already. KBB already did some merch creation and stuff. Maybe we can do it cheaper than Quicks and with the cost for shipping and all this. But
yeah, let me know as well. I
the-
mean, I've done a
the
ton
three
for
persons would
I
be
can help perhaps.
basically, or maybe Afia can do help, and would be KBB and Shadix and me, and then would we need to get doxed or something, or would we create a multi-sig wallet for? How does that work? Like with the funding, the DAO figure it out?
Oh, that's
yet?
a very,
How-
very good question. Yeah. So
Like,
what we're
in
not
the
going.
Napaton, I think the team just sent out the atlas, right, to the guys, like
Yeah,
on their
that
own.
was of course a different setup. So in this case, we're not going to give people money up front. Either, and we don't know exactly, we'll have to figure this out, but preferably if you can just give us exact like invoices or something, that'll be interesting. But we may also just have like, if you can prove that you did this, and this, then we'll give you half. And if you did on this, and this, we give you the rest. Something like that. But this is a very good question. We haven't fine-tuned that yet, and it probably depends on the proposal.
So basically, should we upfront the money? Like, do we upfront everything, we produce
doing
everything,
upfront
and
is by far
then the PIP?
easiest, but that may not be what people like to do. So I'm pretty sure there's two ways to go about this, and I'm just honestly not entirely yet sure how we're going to do that, because we also don't want to necessarily become like a whole financial institute on the council side where we have to go over every
that's what I mean. If you say
and wire money around.
Like the problem would be, otherwise we had to fund it. We would produce the t-shirts and then do the PIP, and then the DAO says, "Oh no, we don't like that."
I'm pretty sure.
Or should we do the PIP beforehand, just with the estimated cost or something?
Yeah, this is a very good question. This is actually a topic that I can't really comment on just yet that much, because this is a bit further down the line, and we've really been talking about to go through the PIP process and we have not yet reached the point where, like, okay, so how are we going to give people money, depending on what they do. So if it's like a project, like I'm going to get a website, that's an easier thing, because you just somehow get it created, and then you can put milestones in place and wire your money when you achieve a milestone, for example. In this case, it's a bit more complicated, also because there's real world costs involved. So you have to get the tokens off chain, of course, the fiat. So are you guys going to do that? I mean, yes, is the answer here, because we're not going to wire anybody fiat. So in that sense, you do kind of already have to pay, and then get the tokens and keep the tokens, or turn the tokens into fiat. But yeah, so I can't comment if you can wire stuff in upfront. I get that would be optimal, and in your situation, you would be trusted. But we have to, of course, keep in mind that if the next proposal comes with people we don't trust, like people from some weird country we don't know, and they also want to have an event, like we probably do stuff differently. So that's a good question. I can't give you the details yet.
A problem to note here would be, for example, I want to push this thing through as fast as we can, because to get a room for the Gamescom, it will be super busy. There's gonna be a few 100,000 people there. It's like a really huge event. So to get the location and everything set up, it will take time, So the problem now is we would create a PIP and we ask for $5,000 for $2,000 in Atlas or whatever. So then the DAO only can give Atlas, right? So what happens if we get a certain amount of Atlas in the PIP, and then in 6 months or so, the Atlas, when we receive the Atlas, dumps or pumps, and
super good question, VB. Yeah, I like it.
Because then question. In 6 months, it could be double the money or half the money, and
yeah, I think it makes sense to construct proposals in such a way that indeed we pay you the amount of Atlas on the moment we pay it, it's converted like from the USD that you have in mind to the Atlas that moment's it's worth. I don't think it makes sense to. I mean, it's not going. So people won't like that if it's going to be speculative.
Yeah, it's
either way. So it has to be differently. Like the moment we pay it to you is up to you if you convert it right away. If you want to be sure, I mean, you could speculate perhaps, but it won't be. If it fails, tricky, if it goes wrong, then you have something to explain to people.
Yeah. It's super tricky because okay, let's say KBB and me, we put together like $1,000. We print 50 or t-shirts or something, and then we create the PIP. But then it's on us, and
No, I would definitely create the PIP before.
Yeah, but VB, I think at the current status, it's not necessary also to start with a budget. I think first we need to put the draft in the PIP ideas, discuss it, then refine everything a bit more so that it's really clear what are the guidelines, what do we really want to buy. So is it just like merch or T-shirts, or also like stickers and like a $15 coupon for free beer or so? So to discuss this with the community, and then the farther we get with the discussion, we can also estimate the budget in a better way. And I think then at the later stage, for example, we get an offer from the merchandise store or whatever, and then it's becoming even clearer. So step by step.
That's exactly how you should do it, because once it is completely clear what the budget requirements are and how the money is going to be spent, that is the point in time where we can put it forward to a vote, not before. So you need to indeed use the ideation process and all the feedback to sharpen it up, write an actual draft following, of course, the structure, and then you can post it in the PIP drafts, and then we will go over it officially. But of course, we're helping beforehand as well. And then it will just be pushed through the pipeline up until people can vote for it.
But
And
the
then
vote,
afterwards, we'll figure out the money.
would the
Or
vote
hopefully
already
before
have? Would the vote already then have the amount of money in there or not?
If the vote succeeds, then the money then it's done. Yeah, because the proposal has to specify, like, we need $5,000 from the treasury, from the ecosystem fund to do this. Like, this is our
So
ask.
we do a cost estimation, put that
Yes,
up in
yes.
the PIF, and
Oh,
then
preferably not an
okay.
estimation, preferably as concrete as possible, but yes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, after it's confirmed by the community, then we can order it. Then we buy it.
Yes, because then you are also 100% sure you get the money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, once it's approved, it will. I mean, you have to briefly. I mean, there is officially, like, the foundation still has the option to pull it back if it's somehow threatening the ecosystem. But of course, that will probably very unlikely happen here. But yeah, basically yes. Once it's approved,
So
you have the green light and you can start, and then we'll have to figure out. By that time, we'll also have figured out what the options are for distributing money to the actual proposers.
So you think for the to-do list, so we do a date, we get the location, and we do a cost estimate on the merch and the free drink or whatever, like maybe 20 free drinks. We don't expect too many people, 20 maybe, something. I don't know. How did you do that on the boat in Amsterdam? Remember when you did you how you estimated the cost? You did open up a event page and then the people signed up and.
No, I figured it out as much as possible. I mean, I was never certain. It was a gamble, but I figured we probably get. So once I knew the amount of people from the team that were coming, once I had some feelers out and some info on people, on the community members coming, I figured, okay, we should be able to pull off a boat this size, which I already forgot what it was. I want to say 78, but probably a bit not that
So
much.
how much time you had up front? Like how much time?
Yeah, little, because it's always too much on the last minute. But I mean, I found this boat already way. I mean, not this boat, but like the concept of boats long before I gave it to the team, because I figured they would plan it, the second event. Then of course they thinned out a little bit.
Maybe it would be a good idea to not even mention the location in the PIP or something if you're not really sure.
No, because if you're saying, hey, we're going to do a meetup at a location, then you need to know the location, because else we can give you money and hope and the event will not happen because the location is not actually booked or reserved or somehow.
So the to-do list to just have a list. So we get the date, we get the location, and we get a cost estimate.
But I would start. I mean, as I said before, and also reiterated, like, you should just get this into the ideas forum first before you do anything. Just get a feel for people that want to join, to get a potential other suggestions, other ideas, perhaps even people stepping forward that they can help with something here, be it location, being merchandise or anything else. It's always interesting. So you just need to make this public And then after it's public, you should indeed start looking for the venues and the merchandise, etc.
Yeah.
But first, just make it
Okay.
public. Don't shy away from that. People are too. I mean, I know some people post like a one or two liner. That's also not optimal. But at first glance, I think this is enough to. I mean,
Yeah,
perhaps polish up a little bit.
I
But you
draft
can,
another
yeah.
one. We go through with our little community here, and then
Okay, cool. Yeah.
we post it in the pip ideas. Okay, good.
Van Cracker, what do you think about creating a multi-sig wallet for like now with VB, Shadix, and myself to organize these things? Is this like recommended by the DAO to be more trustful, or
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I think it's always a benefit if you do that. It's always a pro. It will never be a con. So in that sense, yeah, I would definitely, if that's something you thought about, I would definitely pursue that. In the worst case, it's neutral and it doesn't do anything for anybody. As from the DAO, it's again, since we have not really breached the topic of how we're going to get people the money. Though I do get that it makes sense that for also from your perspective, like this is an important topic, and it is. But we've been primarily just focused on getting our own infrastructure set up and polishing the guidelines, the rules, the structure. Like what should the people even look like? Because that, of course, step one of the process. So, but this is a good one, and this is definitely something we'll talk about over the coming weeks and figure this out. But yeah, it will never hurt
And
your
and
chances
overall,
or how you're regarded. So I would definitely pursue that.
overall, you think we even have a chance to push a pip like this through? Like that's my main concern, because
Yeah, I don't know.
okay,
I mean,
most of the police power is probably based in
yeah,
the USA.
yeah. I mean,
Why would they be interested in funding an event in Europe? You
Because
know,
it's
and
exposure for the
and we
project.
need 50% of the voting power, right?
Yeah, but that it's exposure for the Gamescom and for the community.
We have
I mean,
to, of course, we have to. That's
we have to
because
convince
the
the
idea,
team?
yeah, we have to
We have to
convince the
convince
people. It's
Swagner, and then it's going through.
but realistically, I think we will get backslash because people are gonna think, why they, you know what I mean? It's always like that.
Yeah,
see,
but VB, that's also the reason why we should keep it quite neutral. So not just for the for Cologne, for the Gamescom event. So like a general guideline how to organize or how to get funding for community events,
Okay, I get
with
it.
the example for the Gamescom.
yeah.
As a
Well,
blueprint type of maybe, like yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I perhaps misinterpreting this, but you should make your proposal as concrete and as on the point as possible. So I would do it differently.
Okay.
I would make first a proposal that is just about this, because this is actually a very good use case, right? It's not just a bunch of people saying, "Hey, let's do a meetup in Paris." Like nothing's happening here. It's just Paris. I mean, that will come next. Those will also find a way. So I would just first make a very good case for why Gamescom and not try to keep it more generalistic, because that means you can use less arguments, and then that will be used or that will be evolved into a blueprint for meetings like that. So
yeah, that's also great. Yeah. So
I think
actually,
the Italians gonna do something similar, as far as I heard.
and then
They
we should
probably
cooperate with them. We should get in touch with them.
Yeah, maybe we should ask reach
yeah, you
out to
could,
them.
but still, you should not. So you should for sure not join arms and make one pip for both or something like that, because that will definitely hurt your chances. So
Yeah.
the guidelines are keep it as simple as possible. Don't try to do too many things in your pip. Preferably just one thing and focus on that, because the more you're putting in there, the more reason there will be for people to reject it. Better to start simple, and if you want to expand, make another pip later to expand on that. I mean, that may not be relevant for you guys, but that's basically what we recommend people to do. So I would really just keep it on point. This is the Gamescom meetup. Has a nice ring to it. I mean, we've talked about Gamescom a lot in Singapore because we know the team wants to go there, and we actually talked about that probably 2025 is perhaps too early, but in 2026 it would be very reasonable for the team to make a presence at Gamescom officially. So yeah, this is a good starter as well for trial run, let's say, in a way. So I'm pretty sure, and Gamescom makes just more sense because it's just not a meetup where you're just meeting people and go back home. You're not going to find new people to join Star Atlas there. So exposure for a regular random meetup is not that big. But here you're at Gamescom, and if you have a certain plan to spread the awareness of Star Atlas at Gamescom, I would definitely focus on that, because that is the sole reason. Well, not the sole reason, but that will pull people over the bridge from the no camp to the yes camp. If it's just like, hey, we are going to meet in this cafe in Berlin for the heck of it on a random date and time, then you will not get. I mean, you may still be approved, but not for a large amount of money. That will be downvoted quite rapidly. Is my
it's a good
feeling, my
It's a good
thinking.
idea to focus on the merch, like let's say to create the pictures like for the t-shirt.
More
and-
what you want to do with it. So I would not so much focus. Like I personally, now of course, perhaps no, there's not so much of the DAO head, though I do feel this makes sense. But I would really hone in on how you're going to spread awareness. So if you're going to do that through merch, then how are you going to do that through merch? Like, what's the
Yeah,
are you
we
going
gonna
to like
do
put it on
like
tables,
some.
push it in people's hands? Is there a Gamescom shop like what Singapore had with Breakpoint, where you can perhaps even sell stuff cheaply? I don't know, like sell T-shirts. I don't know. I know that Singapore Breakpoint allowed that, but perhaps not Gamescom. It's of course much
That
bigger.
doesn't
and much
work
more
at Gamescom.
commercial.
There's like
Yeah, they are way
300,000
restricted.
kids.
Yeah.
You have
I have a
to
bunch of
give them.
Gamescom merch at home, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't do that.
Maybe
Well,
in front of the
interesting.
entrance.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
entrance. No, but that could be like we're going to stand all day at the entrance. I mean, you won't, but let's say that would be something then,
We
right?
could. But
Yeah, you could, but I'm not sure you want to. But perhaps you have a rotating schedule. But
I mean, we definitely, if we give out merch to people at the Gamescom, we make photos and videos of it. That's for sure. But
I think what you should
I like the
consider.
first idea with the meetup and people coming. We meet everybody, and that's also nice, And in the beginning, we thought we might be able to get a free drink or something, like all the other DAOs do this. I don't know if you saw the.
No, but you can, right? You should, because so you guys have a different, I think a different and a better story than the other meetups that will follow in your footsteps, because they will indeed ask for less money, but they would like to get their drinks or their bites, like their pizza slices, remunerated, and that will be a small amount of money, and that may, like, if you're asking for $200. But again, that we also then probably need to really be on top of how that money is spent and see some proof. But you guys have a much better story here. So you should really emphasize that and tell us how this is going to benefit potentially Star Atlas. And you will find plenty of naysayers, always. But yeah, try. I mean, I don't know what will happen, and I would love to see myself as well. So
Yeah. No, thanks for the input. It's like it's good input we got from you. So we refined that pip idea. We posted in pip ideas, and then we're gonna see what happens.
yeah, and again, then try to start concretize. Okay, that's not the word. Make things more concrete, like with location, with date, and then fine tuning the budget. Like, what do you need? What do you want? And if you get a lot of feedback that says, yeah, you're asking for too much, then okay, then perhaps you have to reconsider. But let's see. I'm also quite curious to see if the team will vote on this, because if that is the case, if the team is allowed to vote on this, you have a lot of backup support for sure.
That's actually interesting. You think
Yeah.
I think they
Well, they did
retained voting, right?
They did not vote on the foundational votes that we had so far, and I think they may try to be, but yeah, this could be something that they feel like. I mean,
But that could
right?
open up
Yeah.
another Pandora's box, and people would get mad and
But at some point it has to happen.
Well,
no?
for sure they will get mad, but that's then their problem, right? Because the team has full rights to use their polis as well, and we all know that they have it. So it's just that it's nice that they.
that's a bit sketchy. That's a big topic. I don't want to do that. That could be
Yeah, it's
Okay.
could be
Sorry.
really like that is
Yeah. It's not
But
up to us. It happens or it doesn't. Like, there's nothing we can do about it.
yeah.
Don't worry.
I rather they won't. I rather we can convince the
Yeah,
police holders.
preferably, of course.
Yeah.
No, for sure, because the team could push everything through. But of course, don't forget that
That's exactly.
I'm not
the
so much
issue.
saying that the team like will use their team allocation. I'm more saying individual team members who are also have also
Yeah,
not
we
voted
can't
for
convince
most.
them
Like the community team have a bunch of polis, as
Yeah.
we now have learned. So
Yeah.
they can use that. Like there's plenty of personal stashes. Like some people got bonuses in Polis, right? They have this whole option program in a sense, it's like Polis program. So the team, it's spread over the team. There's human people.
The
You
thing
won't
is,
be
like
like
with all the pips, what scares me is like, you have people you like and you don't like, and I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
some of the whales don't like me, but they have a lot of police power. So when I am in that pip, for example, I kind of want to actually stay back a little bit. So my name is not then because I
You-
know
No, because
like
I think your name inspires also a lot of trust.
yeah, but
you need to kind of
it's very politic. Now we get into the politics of all this. It's
No,
gonna
but
be
you're doxxed. You're actively working in the community. I mean, you're a moderator for crying out loud. But you're
but
right.
Tony-
Like people can
wants
see
to-
you putting in the time.
But
So
I
even
tell
if
you,
you will don't
there's
like
more to
you for
this.
whatever
Like
reason.
to convince the police holders is gonna be a dick. You don't need to convince many, but these are tough. Like, cause
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know. I mean, if you really think the will don't like you, I've never heard of that. But if that, I mean, then yeah, no, I don't believe so. But
like
again, JetX, of
my
course,
idea.
also well-known community member, so also great to have his name there. I mean, I'm sorry, Kiwi me, I don't well, no, I haven't. Your name is a little bit less familiar within the community.
That's no
Yeah, but nonetheless, I think JetX and VB, I think you should definitely use your names. I mean, yeah.
Like the main goal should be like to convince the people it's a good for the exposure of Star Atlas. It's good. We at the Gamescom, we do something there. A lot of people will get stickers or something, in that regard. So it's a nice advertising marketing for Star Atlas, if we do that.
Are you also going to hire bodyguards then, though? Because if you're going to try to convince gamers to come to the Web3 side of the line, then
Oh, I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of that.
might
We
get
did
punched in
already.
the face.
fight back.
Kiwi, we did it last year, right? Kiwi, you've been there, right? With the
Yeah.
you-
I tried my best,
yeah.
but they literally had no interest in speaking with me.
So Fundraiser Kiwi is most known. He was the guy who organized the first Star Atlas advertising in cinemas, where they showed before the
Oh,
movie.
no
they
shit.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
was
change your name, though, at some
really
point?
cool stuff. Yeah.
No,
Huh?
it's all the time Kiwi me, but
Oh,
yeah, it's true. I'm mostly active in the German community. That's true.
I
It might
understand.
be.
Yeah.
He's also a guild leader like you, Fundraiser.
Oh, you are the guild leader. I understand now. Yeah,
Lot
that
of
makes
German-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a long time, I didn't even realize it was a guild. I just thought it was like more like a regional club of people who are in Germany.
You should,
But yeah.
Shadix, you should show him the video where you did the unpacking for the merch. It's kind of sad. Otherwise, he would have known by now all the merch you had for this breakpoint, and
Why it's on.
which arrived too late. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Funbreaker would know them better.
What? It arrived too late?
He made a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Let me just check.
Yeah, that was actually a bit sad that it's arrived
Yeah.
too late. But yeah,
Oh, shit.
nevertheless, we said that we want to do it again then at the Gamescom also. So
You
that's why
you tried to send stuff to Singapore somehow.
Yeah, to Shadix, and then he would have
Yeah.
shown
Sent to
everything
France.
at Singapore, but it arrived too late. So
Oh,
Shadix
that's
did
a
the
shame.
opening here in stream.
Wait, I'll send you the
Very
link.
nice.
Oh, right. That story. That's just, yeah. I mean, wow, yeah, that sucks.
It's some cool stuff. Like we're very small. It's really hard. They're Germans. They all like Phoebe multiplied by 10. So everybody's conservative and always skeptical. And it takes a lot to convince a German to play Startlers, So, but we trying, It's not as big as in other countries, but we try.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, at this point in time, it takes a lot to convince anybody, right? So at this point in time, of course, as you also mentioned, VB, with the fees and everything, right? So,
Yeah.
but let's see. Next year, hopefully, Gamescom, there won't be
We have
probably
some cool
like,
guys. I miss
yeah.
Victor. Say hello to Victor. I'm a little bit disappointed. I hope he would be here because he gives us deep insights in all the feeds and crafting every week when
Yeah, I'm
he's
not sure
coming.
where Victor is today, to be
Yeah.
honest. I've not, I did talk, no, actually, I didn't talk to him today. He's probably busy then, yeah.
Yeah, he's super busy. Everybody's tagging Victor for dashboard stuff.
Yeah, no, but he'll probably be there next week. I mean, I think he likes this a lot as well, these Stammtisches, so.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
always good to have him.
Anything else we should ask Funcracker? Hat noch jemand was hier irgendwie? Gwynder, du noch ein paar Fragen?
Nee, eigentlich nicht.
Also A
Was-
is here today. Hallo A, wie sprechen das aus? Ist das ein
Hä?
I know A. He's a.
Is he German?
Is he not a friend of you, Gwynder? It's one of you guys, right?
Ja, ich glaube, die sitzen in der Arbeit. Ich glaube, die können gerade nicht sprechen.
Ah, okay.
Der
Ja.
Ari auch.
Aber
Alles
wird auf jeden
Wie
Fall
spricht man ihn
spannend, das
aus?
mal auszuprobieren.
Ja. Auf jeden Fall. Also ich tue nochmal mit dem Input von heute nochmal hier mit GPT und so den Pip, die Pip-Draft machen, also die Pip-Idea ausfalschen, dann poste ich das im Chat und dann können wir nächste Woche nochmal drüber gehen und dann ein bisschen anpassen und dann posten wir das Ding dann nächste Woche Montag nach der Brew oder so in die Pip-Ideas rein.
Machen wir
Würde ich
so.
sagen,
Ja.
ja.
Klingt gut, ja. Klingt gut.
Ja.
Yeah, thank
Ich
you
würde
very
halt
much.
auch am Anfang auf jeden
Falls
Fall
jetzt
mal
nur,
drauf.
ja.
Ja.
Ja,
Ich
falls
würde am
jemand
Anfang
zuhört
nur.
hier, ja.
Ist immer schwierig, wenn man die anderen nicht sieht.
Ja.
Ich würde halt auf jeden Fall nochmal miteinander besprechen wollen, so was wir auf jeden Fall mit reinpacken wollen. Also Merch,
jeden Fall.
Freigetränke, also was wir speziell machen wollen. Und dann können wir das dann ja nächsten
Auch,
Montag noch mal besprechen.
Grüße gehen raus an Alphapunk. Hier ist jeder, der das hört oder sieht, eingeladen, Input zu geben und mitzumachen halt. Das wollte ich nochmal
Genau.
klarstellen. Das werden wir auch dazu schreiben. Jeder, der Ideen hat hier und irgendwas geändert haben will, bitte einfach Bescheid geben und wir machen das.
If you're going to enter the Gamescom conference, you also need tickets, right? Or is that not so much part of the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan also. We're gonna probably go in there, yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay, well,
we don't know about the date, because that's also why I want to push it so early now, because Santi was surprised, it's in like 8 months or something. But the problem is
a few weeks in
you
advance.
need,
Yeah.
you need to hotel rooms and stuff or Airbnb, and we have
Yep,
to
yep.
plan all that personal stuff, because even for me and for Shadix and
Yeah,
for other
but I'm
people.
just saying, like, consider. I mean, I'm not sure if you want to or if it's smart or whatever, but that's also a cost, of course, you then have. So that could be part of the
I mean, it
proposal.
also depends on if the team is actually there, because if the team is not there, then we are basically the Startless presence, and we can, do something for Startless, right?
Yeah. I mean, if the team would be there, then things would probably look very different because then there will be an event either way, but also potentially some marketing budget or some other budget from the team streaming in that direction. And they will probably bring merch and all that sort of stuff as well. So, but we don't know that
That
yet.
would be
And
even cooler, because
it doesn't look like they will be there in 2025, but never know what happens, of course, right? So,
but
yeah.
I know at least we get Lou, he's the German guy, then we get Sianur, we get Darwin, and I don't know who else is working in
If
Europe.
we
I
make
think
something
that's-
proper, especially with the community meetup, if the team is not there, then we'll get a lot of Europeans coming. We just have
No,
to
and
add.
also team members at least, even if it's not official present.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll get
Yeah, and
there.
it's also a good thing, right? Because people don't just come then for the for your meetup, but
I
there's
hope
also
you come
Gamescom.
in. Like, you should come as well,
There's also
right?
Gamescom going on, so that's an additional reason, of course, for them to actually show up. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will, of course, try to be there for sure.
We're counting on you, man.
Yeah. No. I mean,
There we go.
I kind of
It's
already
also
like.
it's not. That's what we also try to focus on. It's not only a German event or something, a German pip. It's for everybody who has time to come to Gamescom. So
Yeah, no,
everybody
it's
is
close
welcome.
by. I've been there a few times already when I was in my Star Citizen fanboy years. So I know my way around, and I'll definitely. I mean, I think I already blocked it more or less on my agenda because in anticipation of the team being there, perhaps yes or no, just so I won't accidentally book something on the same date. So it's highly likely that I will be able to attend.
Awesome.
You're
Nice.
pro. Oh, good.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
He's a pro. Nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Cool.
much, Frank.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome, man. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
I mean, if there's any question that pops up whatsoever, by the way, also do tune in to the Atlas Brew this Wednesday if you can,
Yeah.
because we're going to go over the stuff we did so far in our preparation. So we'll go over the whole legislative process, or what I like to call the PIP life cycle, and also over the various topics that need to be addressed in your PIPs. Again, this has nothing to do with the idea section, but this has everything to do with if you move to drafts, then you need to have a well-formatted pip, and that's actually what we're going to talk about mostly.
Right.
Very important, because I was getting anxious. I poked on Carlos a little bit in the loud chat because it's been a month, huh? Is it a month already?
Oh man, yeah, it's been a month. I think
So
it's
it's
a
a
little
month,
over a month
and
now.
then my question would be a short question. So the council is every 6 months, and
Yeah.
does new vote start before the actual
Oh
council?
yeah, I saw your question. Yes, it's going to be a back-to-back thing.
Back to back. So then it's only 4 months left till the next.
Yeah,
election.
that's annoying. Well, no. So we are going to propose to shorten the whole period.
Okay.
Right, people can start campaigning and everything, but like officially it should just open up. We should be able to do everything in a month. Of course, if there's like multiple rounds, that may extend it by 2 weeks. But we really would like to at least we're
interesting,
trying to advocate for a shorter segment. Not to give people less time, because people know now how it works. Like we can do stuff in advance. We can plan better with the brews and the interviews and whatever debates and everything.
But my point is, time is running so fast, and
Oh man, I know.
I don't want the DAO to be 4 to 6 like the team.
No. I completely. I mean, I am surprised at how slow we're going. Actually, I will admit that, but we are making movement, fortunately. And the slowness is not all due to us either. So, but I won't go any deeper into any of that. But hopefully, we're able to now get to a point where we can speed up a little bit after 1 month.
Cool. Nice.
And really help people. That's most important. Like really, like this. Like I'm very happy that you guys asked me. But really like to reach out and help people. Not so much necessarily. I know that the team would like us to help with ideas, but I mean, we have been so focused on structure and what the pip should contain and what not, that is now the best for me to talk about. And ideas, I'm happy to see that ideas are already popping up in the community either way. So don't necessarily think we need to instill additional ideas in community members. I think they have the ideas, but we can at least help with encouraging you guys to just put it in the ideas, and also what is needed in order to progress to the next stage. And one thing I did not mention, but I will mention Wednesday, I can mention it right now, is that besides you having all those questions answered and all those boxes ticked, you also need 25 thumbs up, which is what we're going with originally, from community members, doesn't matter who, before you're allowed to progress to the next stage. So there's like a sort of like a community sentiment, small bit. It's
we have even 25 people in the DAO. It's gonna be
yeah. Well, anybody could give a thumbs up, right? It's just a small.
it's tough, man.
It's
25 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I don't remember any post if it wasn't an announcement.
Well, we never asked, of course, people to do that either. But it's primarily just meant that we don't have stupid ideas that just pop up and we have.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, then we'll have to lower it. And if everybody gets it, then we have to perhaps raise it. But this is just something we start with. just to make sure we keep the waste out.
It's gonna be a little bit spammy because then like you probably have to do an advertising campaign.
No,
for
that's
your
actually not so
idea.
bad because that would actually help our process and the legislative process if people
I guess.
advertise their proposals and try to get people to read it and provide feedback and a thumbs up, and that's all good actually.
Interesting. Good.
Yep.
We see on Wednesday how.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, guys, and take care. And yeah, send
Thank
any questions my way through DM. Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
we
I hope I
check you.
didn't scare
We gonna ask
Kimi
you. Yeah.
away now.
Yeah, he is in. He wrote he is in Maastricht at the moment on
Oh
vacation.
shit, in the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's in the Netherlands. Kind of funny
Netherlands.
coincidence.
What? Oh man. Okay, well, that's then I'm not sure how long. Okay, you should reach out to me. I mean, it's a 2-hour trip by train or anything by car, but that's interesting actually. Always good to if I'm able to meet a community member and grab a beer or whatever. But
Nice.
cool. Anyway, you guys take care, have fun, enjoy the rest of the Stammtisch. En
Goed, jongen.
We're gonna wrap it
en
up
dan
now, I
de
think.
slechte maal, or de het was.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
It was
sure
nice
thing.
having you. Yeah.
Sure thing,
Thank
man.
you.
Take care, bye-bye.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, shit, machen wir Schluss, hä? Oder hast Quinter?
Ja,
Quinter
mach.
hatte noch was? Oder? Nee.
Passt.
Ja.
Also
Was habt
Aufnahme.
ihr da so? Wollen wir das, ziehen wir weiterhin durch hier mit dem Pip und so? Machen wir,
Auf
oder?
jeden Fall, auf jeden Fall. Ich bin heiß dafür. Vor allem steht ja jetzt, ich meine, Funcracker steht hinter uns. Dann Santi findet es eine super Idee. Ich meine, klar, wenn die Community jetzt
Ich habe immer noch mit Schiss halt so, weil du musst praktisch
entscheiden, aber wir können es ja mal zumindest präsentieren. Die Idee ist
wir
gut.
müssen Rom überzeugen. So mindestens, um eine Chance haben zu wollen, müssten wir Rom überzeugen.
Brian
Wo ist denn
schon.
unser Römer hier? Der ist so lange nicht mehr da gewesen. Den müssen wir mal ein bisschen so warm machen dafür.
Ich glaube, Brian können wir schon dafür motivieren. Da bin ich mir sicher. Und der Rest, ja,
Cool.
aber ja, passt schon. Reden wir
Auf
dann noch.
25 Upvotes ist nie ohne. Ich stoppe jetzt mal. Tschüss hier alle in YouTube und so weiter.